Tammy, it's you don't get better at the game with this. So like here, I'll show you this, okay? Where's having this right here, having you go from diamond to grandmaster doesn't, like, obviously you have to get better at the game to do that, but it doesn't necessarily mean you're better at the game, okay? Or even this right here, like let me show you this. Where is it? Now, here's my Evelyn, okay? Look at my Evelyn. I average 7.7 kills a game, 3.3 deaths a game, and basically 6 kill assists a game at a 58% win rate, okay? I could play this champion all the time, and I'd probably win a lot more games. I could play Morgana all the time and probably win a lot more games. Like, if all I wanted to do was win games, I would play Evelyn, Morgana, and Twisted Fate, because they're my highest win rate champions in the game, and Orianna. So if all I cared about was winning, Evelyn, Morgana, Twisted Fate, Orianna. Those would be the champions I would play every single game, okay? Because they're my highest win rate champions, okay? My highest win rate champions. Now, I could do that, and I could get better at the game, and I would learn the game, and I get really good at those 4 champions. But if you look at this, these are like my most played champions. Lee Sin, Evelyn, Morgana, Graves, Riven, Twisted Fate, Vayne, Orianna, Tristana. And then I would put in Wukong in there. And then I would also throw in Janna, Caitlyn, Nami, Galio. Realistically, those are the champions I play the most. Those champions right there. I play those champions the most, okay? I could, if I wanted, just be a one-trick Morgana player, and I would probably win, realistically, if I only played Morgana, maybe like 55% of my games. And I'd rank up a lot faster. But I'd be losing lots of the aspects of the game I don't understand. I'd become an amazing Morgana player, but like by understanding all these champions, I understand the game a lot more. So I don't think you pick a champion based on your stats. You do to a degree. What was your name again? I just added you. Who are you? What was your gamer tag or your IGN? I guess I just gotta look for the guy who's diamond. I think you're the only diamond person I have on my friends list. Oh wait, no, I have him, but that's a Smurf. Rusted. Where are you? Oh, there you are. Okay, so let's look at you. So if I look at your champions, this is, let's see. Okay, first let's see how many games. So you're an Ashe main. You really only play Ashe. It's the only champion you play. Because 36 games isn't enough on a champion to say that you play that champion. So like, let's look at your Ashe stats, okay? Your win rate's good. Your KDA is real low, but are you playing Ashe support or are you playing Ashe ADC? Which one are you doing? Do you play Ashe support or Ashe ADC? So you have a really high win rate, but you die a lot. You get good assists, and you have an okay amount of kills. ADC, your biggest problem from looking at you have really bad positioning. You don't understand positioning. Just by looking at all your champions, you die a ton. That's partially why your KDA is so low. So let me understand. When you have a KDA below 3, that basically means that you go negative almost every game you play, for the most part. You go positive some games, but if your KDA is below 3, it basically means you go negative every single game. All right? So, not to be mean, but that's the truth, okay? I'm not trying to be mean. But if you're going negative every single game, you're not helping your team win. You're not, okay? You're a big part of the reason why your team loses when you lose, if you're going negative the majority of your games. Because like you have to have it's like a 3-point something to be like basically a break-even player. Like if you have like a 3-point something, like in my opinion, the way I personally look at it, anything over a 4 KDA, like is good individual. It shows your individual skill. Your KDA shows your individual skill. It doesn't necessarily mean how good you are at the game or a team player, but your individual skill. Okay? So with this right here, with a low KDA, and then when I look at your most played champions and just all your champions in general, you have high deaths on all of them. So, and your ADC main with a lot of deaths, you basically go even and just get assists, okay? So, you play lots of ARAM, okay? That's good to know. I'm assuming, though, you probably play Ashe ranked mostly, though. Ashe is probably the ranked champion, which that you play would be my guess. So basically what I would say here, what I understand from looking at your stats, you don't understand positioning. And then you're a very aggressive player, what I would just guess from your stats. You're a very aggressive player with Ashe, but you misposition a lot and you get caught out a lot in team fights, would be what my guess is. You kind of go for broke. So I would guess just from looking at your stats, when a game starts, like you're trying to be very aggressive in the beginning of the game and get ahead early. And you have games where some games you'll absolutely stomp your team and like blow them out of the water. And then other games you just get absolutely shit on. You get absolutely shit on. And the reason why you have games like that is because you don't actually understand your power spikes and you don't understand your matchups. You don't understand what champions you can go balls to the walls against, and you don't understand what champions you can't go balls to the wall against. Okay? So what you need to work on just from looking at this, you need to understand positioning, you need to understand your matchups, and you need to understand power spikes. And this is where being a one trick sucks, because when you're a one trick, you don't get to understand other champions' power spikes very well. Okay? But when you're not a one trick, you get a better, broader understanding of the overall aspect of the game and how champions scale and interact with other champions. You may not be as good at those champions. Now, what I would also say from this, you may like Ashe, but I bet you Ashe probably isn't your best champion. If you probably start to explore champions, you could probably find a champion that you work better with, especially since you're a very balls to the wall type player. A better ADC for you, because Ashe isn't even super strong early. Ashe is a mid-game champion, and then late game, like early game, she's a better support than she is an ADC early, and then mid game she's super strong if she's ahead. Late game she's a terror if she's ahead, but she falls off really hard late game if you're even. Mid game, if you're even, you're still viable because you still produce enough damage. But because you're a balls to the walls type player, champions that would be like suit your play style, like in my opinion, if what I'm saying is accurate to your play style. Give me a second here. I'm trying to. So Caitlyn is one example. Caitlyn is one of the strongest champions early game. Okay, Lucian is also one of the strongest champions early game, as well. Draven is the strongest champion early game, maybe one of the strongest champions in the whole game early. Miss Fortune is also a really strong champion early. Jhin is also really strong early as well. Now, based on the fact that your positioning isn't very good just from looking at your stats, playing something safer like a Caitlyn or a Lucian would be good, because Caitlyn, she can peel herself with her netting, and she can peel herself with her traps, but she also has amazing range and damage. Lucian can peel himself with his dashes and things of that nature. Draven, though he's really strong, you would really struggle on Draven because your positioning isn't very good. You'll die a lot. Games, if you got good at him, your games where you did well, you would go balls to the wall again, but you'd die a lot because you struggle with positioning and everything. And Ashe is one of the most important positioning ADCs, unless you're good at kiting. If you get good at kiting, that's pretty good. But I think like Caitlyn, Lucian would be good champions for you based on your playstyle, if the way I'm describing your playstyle is true, because they're champions that you can be hyper aggressive with early. Both of them are stronger than Ashe early, stronger than Ashe mid, and stronger than Ashe late. Kai'Sa would be a good champion for you too. I would agree. Kai'Sa's not a terrible champion for you. The reason why I don't recommend Kai'Sa though for you, you could play Kai'Sa. Based on your stats and look at you, and and from what you're saying, you don't understand positioning super well. Kai'Sa's also really important on positioning and time and picking of fights. Because Kai'Sa, you have to try position in a way that you you proc your single target damage. If you don't proc your single target damage, she's a shitty ADC. She's fucking shit if you don't know how to proc her single target damage. But if you can position in ways that proc your single target damage or get to the champions, she's fucking insane. Like, she's just fucking insane. But Caitlyn and Lucian would give you better opportunities to learn how to protect yourself. Xayah's a great champion for people learning how to protect yourself too, because she can peel herself. She's like the anti-engaged champion as well. But that would kind of be like my understanding. I wish this game like showed average CS and stuff like that, because like I also don't understand, because they don't show the stats of like how well do you actually. Oh, they do. Hold on, let me pull this up. Let me go back to your name. Let me see what kind of gold you get. Where the hell is your name? Rusty. Oh wait, I can just go to recently visited. Oh wait, no, that's for me. Where's your name, Rusty? Okay, I guess that's not going to work. I'm curious what your damage and gold per game looks like as well. I didn't look at that, because that'll tell me a lot about how you lane. Hero. Oh, Rusted Soul, that's why, okay. So let's look at your stats again. Let's break it down this way. Okay, so your gold per minute is really good. Your damage is really good. Your turret damage is pretty low, I would say. Let me do here. Let me just go to ranked, actually, just ranked. Okay, so look at this. Okay, yeah, there's where your inflated gold is a little bit. I was going to say, man, your gold's crazy good. Your gold is a little inflated from ARAM. Okay, and so is your damage, a little bit inflated. Still not bad, though. Yeah, I just did. Still not bad, though. I'll even do it. Actually, no, I'll keep it all seasons. I'm going to put it all seasons because this is going to give us a better aspect of what you really are. So your current season is this, but all seasons gives us a true understanding. So you're at 3.4. So you're basically about a break-even person. Your team fight participation is 40%, or under 50%, which that's bad. If you're an ADC, it should be above that, because you always have a player next to you. So it's literally almost impossible for you to not get team fight participation. As an ADC, you should have higher, because you're not really supposed to be 1v1ing people as an ADC, especially as Ashe. If you're an Ashe main, no. There's no reason you should be 1v1ing people as an Ashe main. Your team fight participation should be up. So this would also make me think that you like to split push a lot and roam on your own a lot, which you shouldn't be doing as an Ashe. Your gold per minute, it's not bad. It could be better as an ADC. ADC and mid should always have ADC laners should have the highest. Really, you should have the highest gold, because your support, if it's a tank support, then when they attack the minions, you get the gold as well, extra gold. So your gold should be higher, but your gold's not terrible. For your elo, your gold isn't terrible as an ADC main. Your damage is good. 19,000 damage a game is really good. Damage taken, that's, like I said, that's because of your positioning. You want that as low as possible. Turret damage is also low. It's very low, very, very low. So this also tells me that you don't push. So you probably spend a lot of your time farming in games and waiting for other people to, as an ADC, your team pushes in front of you, but you're the one who takes towers. As an ADC, you want to be the one taking towers. Like, that's the point of an ADC. They attack, damage, carry, they take towers. So you don't attack towers. You don't attack towers enough. You need to group with your teammates more and fight. You shouldn't be split pushing as an Ashe. You need to work on your positioning, and you need to understand matchups, power spikes, as well. I would say your damage is really good and everything. MVPs, S ratings, A's, 22, First Bloods. Yeah, you have a ton of First Bloods. Let me see, current season. Yeah, well, about 20%. Yeah, those are my thoughts, man. Looking at your stats. How do you, how accurate do you feel that is? Yeah, well, about 20%. Yeah, those are my thoughts, man. Looking at your stats. How do you, how accurate do you feel that is? Yeah, that would basically be my thoughts. Yeah. So that's why, like I say, people at different ranks, it's not to be mean. I'm not trying to be mean. I'm being honest. I know I come off mean. I mean well. I know I come off mean. I know I do. I'm a very blunt, brass person. But like, that's why I say people play completely different games. My level of understanding of how a game's supposed to be played versus like somebody maybe in your level of understanding of how the game's supposed to be played, it's completely different. It's completely different. So like, when I get a Grandmaster on my team, if they're a low-ranked Grandmaster, they don't understand the game the way that I do and how it's supposed to be played. And so because this game is so team-reliant, it's crazy. So like here, I'll show you an example, okay? Here's another example. Okay, here's this season, okay, in ranked. This is the current season in ranked. I have a 52% win rate, okay? And this season I have basically only played solo, okay? I've only played solo. I want to show you my stats, okay? This is the current season in ranked. Here are my stats, okay? Now, this season's basically almost 100% solo. I've played primarily solo. Like, I do have team games as well, but most of my games are solo. The majority of them are solo games this season. I have a 5.9 KDA. I have a 56.9% team fight participation as a jungler. I have a 731 gold per minute as a jungler. The jungler should be some of the lower gold in the game. My team fight damage is lower, but I'm a jungler. I spend a lot of time in the jungle. My damage taken's a little lower. And my turret damage, look how high my turret damage is compared to yours. And I'm not even in lanes with turrets, okay? I have a 52% win rate playing primarily solo. Last season, I basically only played team. I only played teams. I played 5v5s, nothing else, okay? Nothing else basically the whole season but fives. Fives or 3-mans, it's all I played. I ended the season with about a 58 point some odd KD, just under a 59% win rate. No, this is not one trick. This is playing 16. That was playing all roles. This is playing all roles. So this season I've played all roles. So that's a 5.9 KDA playing all roles this season. Last season I had a 6 KDA, a 6 point something. I think it was like 6.1, 6.5. I can't remember. And I had a 58.8 or 0.9 win rate. And I played basically every role as well, but I only 5-manned. Like I only 5-manned. Like last season, I played a buttload of top, a buttload of jungle, a buttload of mid, a buttload of ADC. I didn't play any support. So last season, I played 4 roles primarily. I played probably half my games. No, I played a buttload in top, a buttload in jungle, a good amount in mid, and a good amount in ADC. I'll start the season in Emerald 1. I'll start the season Emerald 1. But this is the difference. I also point this out because I want to give you the difference. When I 5-man, I play with players who understand the game as well as I do or better. Okay? So that's why when I play by myself and I have to play with players who don't understand the game as well as I do, I'm only a 52% win rate player. Okay? I'm only a 52% win rate player, which is good, okay? Like, you have a good win rate. Because the truth of the matter is, Riot tries to keep you at a 50. They don't really want you above 52. That's about the max Riot wants you, and if you get above 52, they try really, really hard to get you down. Once you're at about 52, you start to get, your games become a little bit more fair, If you're above 52, you get very unfair games. But last season, when I play with players at my skill level, like, I'm about almost a 60% win rate. It's because I'm playing with other players who understand what to do to the same degree that I understand or better. Because all the players I play with when I'm playing serious in 5s, like I delete all my streams, but like whenever I play 5-mans, I probably win the vast majority of those games. Because I'm playing, like I said, with kids who understand the game to the degree that I understand and everything. It's really hard. Solo queue, it's hard to anticipate skill. All you can really show in solo queue is individual skill. So like, I have very high individual skill. I have a 5.9 KDA. Okay? That's crazy. Like, most players have about a 3 something. Most players have about a 3 KDA. Okay, like I'll just show you this, okay? So there's my KDA. I'm gonna show you, let's see here. Here's a challenger player. He's really good. He's, I think he's top 100, okay? Here's his KDA. All matches, let's just put it in ranked. 4.6. This is a challenger level player, right? He's one of the best players, the formula to calculate what? This guy's literally one of the best players in North America. He's got a 54.3 win rate. He's got a 4.6 KDA, a 55% kill participation. Look at his gold per minute, 821. Damage to champions dealt, damage taken, turret damage. This guy's like a top 100 player. I think he's been as high as top 33. Oh, all you got to do is just go to basically go to stats, and then hit these 3 little bars. I'll show you your KDA. That's all you got to do. So like, if we go to yours, KDA doesn't necessarily mean how good you are at the game, though. So I want to make sure that that's clear. Just because you have a high KDA doesn't mean you're actually good at the game. It could just mean that you're a selfish player who never does anything. And you just sit back and try and get kills, and that's it. But yeah, you just go to stats, you hit those 3 bars, it shows your KDA. But like I said, just from looking at your stats, you need to get a better understanding of positioning, power spikes, and everything like that. I'll just show you, like, here's another one. Let me show you another player. This guy right here, where is he? Here's Shadowhaven. He's a challenger level player. He's the #1 Katarina in North America. He's got a 4.6 KDA. Let me go to ranked matches. He's got a 54% win rate. Shadow at one time was also like one of the top 50 players in North America as well. Both of these kids I just showed you, way better than me at the game. Way better than me at the game. Look how much damage he deals a game. Almost 25,000 damage, okay? Now let me show you this. I'm going to show you I'm going to show you another player who's a lower ranked player. Okay, here we go. We'll do this guy. This guy's a lower ranked player. Look at stats. Here's a current season. He's got a 45% win rate. He's got 3.8 KDA. Team fight participation lower. His gold per minute's really good. His damage is really good too. So what does this tell me? My first guess is he doesn't understand positioning. He doesn't group well with his team. He split pushes a lot. But he is constantly attacking people. So he tries to go, he's probably balls to the walls once again. But KDA doesn't necessarily, you win more though. Like he's got a 45% win rate. So that's the difference. The KDA doesn't say how good you are at the game. You can have a lower KDA and still be good at the game. Okay? I'm trying to give you an example. Let me see if I can find this guy. He doesn't have a super high KDA, but he's really good. It also depends what champions you play. So certain champions dictate more damage. KDA can be misleading. It depends on the type of champions you play. Like if you play a full-on tank champion, well then you shouldn't have as high of a KDA potentially. Potentially. I don't think you should ever have, like where your KDA is, I don't think you should be at that KDA. I don't think that's a KDA that is like acceptable. That KDA basically says that you don't understand what you're doing. Like obviously you obviously understand what you're doing better than most players because you're Diamond 2. So it puts you in the higher echelon of players that play the game. But if you were in a game with me, I would be frustrated playing with you because I would think based on the situation in the game that you would do something, but you wouldn't probably do it because you don't understand to do it. So this guy right here, Jabba, I don't think he has a super high KDA. Well, he's 4.6, so yeah, it's still pretty freaking high. Most of the players that I play with have high KDAs because they're all pretty good. I don't think I know any of my friends who don't have a high KDA. Let me see Yami. Yami 5.2. Yami's so fucking good. This kid is so fucking good, man. But yep. That's kind of like that's kind of like my thoughts, man. That's what I think. I hope that helps. And April, I will definitely I can do this for you too if you want.